When eating one of what will most likely be many arepas at El Arpazo in Doral, Florida, there are many choices for dining distraction. You can take in the wall of past and present professional Venezuelan baseball players, perhaps read an account of the corruption of the Chavistas, or if you like, visit the makeshift memorial assembled behind the restaurant and the blindfolded Simón Bolívar statue for those killed during last February's anti-government demonstrations in Caracas. But no matter what you choose, you'll be hard-pressed to escape any meal without some chatter about Venezuela and its politics.
Everything that happened in Venezuela, they get together here in the Area Paso.
While Cuban-Americans constitute the overwhelming majority of the Latino population in South Florida, this small Venezuelan arepa restaurant has become the de facto gathering place for the swelling numbers of Venezuelans relocating to the Miami area.
Most of what matters to the Venezuelan community here, or most of what the Venezuelan community here talks about, is Venezuelan politics.
But despite having grown by 117% since the year 2000, the Miami area's nearly 50,000 Venezuelans still rank well behind many other Central and South American immigrant populations. But given the pace of expansion, this group, a group that registers below 2% in the overall Miami-area Latino population, is starting to eat into the U.S. political pie.
The best place to live for them definitely is here in Doral.
Originally from Caracas, Doral Mayor Luigi Borja is the first Venezuelan-born mayor in Florida. With cranes dotting the skyline of his small town, the mayor says they plan to add an additional 3,000 residential units in the coming years. But even with the influx of population and capital, Borja says his task as mayor is a bit bifurcated. He must balance the immediate needs of the local municipality with the broader concerns surrounding the Venezuelan diaspora. This task, he says, has largely been informed by the experiences of previous immigrant groups, most notably the Cubans.
They have been around for 50 years and they know, the reality of what is happening here in the South Florida, but also what happened in Cuba. And they were the one that first told us that what's going to happen in Venezuela, and we didn't want to listen. And at the end, now we see the results.
This Cuban advice reaches beyond simple crib notes for South Florida integration, as it extends into tactical guidance for some of the Venezuelan activists operating out of Miami.
They have been, for me, the best teacher. When I don't know what to do with a political prisoner that have been tortured, I call to this group of human rights, and they said, quickly go to that place, call to the Senate, call to the Congress, move to the media. They are the best. They have 54 years.
But as Florida International University law professor Manuel Gomez stresses, it is important to note that there is a spectrum at play in this evolving dynamic, and it seems unlikely that a singular Venezuelan political voice will emerge.
Of course, there is a group of people here, individuals who call themselves exile. So they're similar or resemble the Cuban exiles. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you have people who either came here for different reasons, and there might be people who don't really care. It's hard to quantify who's where, because the ones on this end of the spectrum clearly make much more noise than the ones on the other end of the spectrum.
But even without cohesion, it appears the Venezuelan-American activists are making headway.
Today, the United States of America is changing its relationship with the people of Cuba.
Just one day after his historic announcement outlining his intentions to normalize relations with Cuba, U.S. President Barack Obama signed the Venezuelan Defense of Human Rights and Civil Society Act of 2014. The bill, co-sponsored by both senators from Florida, authorized targeted sanctions against members of the Nicolas Maduro government and other Venezuelans. The noise, it seems, is producing results. But if the Cuban-American experience is indeed your guide, the question may well be just how long this community can keep that volume up. Christopher Booker, Financial Times, Doral, Florida.